Closer, based in the Social Research Institute at UCL, brings together expertise in longitudinal research through partnership with 19 UK cohort and longitudinal studies, which follow participants born throughout the 20th and 21st centuries. Partner studies include the Millennium Cohort Study, the English Longitudinal Study of Aging, Understanding Society, the UK Household Longitudinal Study, the 1970 British Cohort Study, and the National Survey of Health and Development. Part of Closer's role is to provide training and resources for students and early career researchers to maximise the use, value and impact of longitudinal studies. The Learning Hub introduces users to longitudinal studies, demonstrates how they can be used to answer research questions, and aims to get more users to feel confident and able to analyse the data that they collect. The Learning Hub is divided into 4 main areas: learning modules, teaching resources, research case studies, and an Explore by Topic section. There is also an extensive glossary available in the top right-hand corner to provide a more detailed explanation of some of the more complex terms. The learning modules contain information, videos, and interactive quizzes in 6 thematic subsections. The first 2 of these are useful in providing an overview of what longitudinal research is, how longitudinal data are collected, and why longitudinal data are particularly valuable for answering important research questions. Longitudinal studies share a common aim: to examine change over time and to capture events in people's lives as they age. To this end, a longitudinal study is a prospective observational study that follows the same people over a period of time, repeatedly collecting information from them. They differ from cross-sectional studies, which interview a fresh sample of people each time they are carried out. Many longitudinal studies collect a broad range of information about different areas of their participants' lives. This makes them incredibly valuable when looking at the way different aspects of our lives interact and how early life circumstances or characteristics relate to outcomes in adulthood, middle age, or later life. As you begin to consider your research topic, you may already know what research question you would like to answer, or you may have a broad area of interest that you would like to investigate further. In any case, you may be in search of a little inspiration to set you on the way. Longitudinal studies provide a rich source of social science and biomedical data and can be used to answer a whole range of research questions. The Learning Hub provides research case studies, each of which detail a piece of published academic research using longitudinal study data. The case studies currently available on the Learning Hub cover topic areas including social media and well-being, ethnic differences in unemployment, the rise of the obesity epidemic, and childhood bullying. The case studies provide examples of real-world research, outlining the research questions asked, the study and data used, what the key findings of the analysis were, and what implications these might have for policy or further research. The case studies also discuss the advantages of using longitudinal data to explore the topic in question. Closer aims to regularly add new research case studies to the Learning Hub to provide an even broader range of examples to demonstrate how longitudinal research has been applied in real-world settings. Once you have formulated a research question, you will need to identify the study that you will use to answer that question and to locate and download the dataset or datasets containing the relevant variables. Datasets from longitudinal studies, along with their important accompanying documentation, can be found through a number of data archives, catalogues and repositories. In the UK, the main data catalogues include the UK Data Service, the Office for National Statistics, the UK Data Archive, gov.uk, and the UK Biobank. In addition, the Closer Discovery search engine makes it easier for researchers to explore data collected in some of the most widely used longitudinal studies in the UK by tying together rich layers of information about the data collected. It is a user-friendly resource for locating the variables that best suit your research question. The Learning Hub provides an easy step-by-step guide to using Closer Discovery, as well as linking you through to the main Discovery site. The guide, located within the Understanding Metadata Learning module, shows you how to discover relevant variables by conducting searches or exploring particular studies. A search on Closer Discovery will show you relevant survey questions and variables, which you can filter by study, topic, and life stage. The original question the variables are based on, where questions appeared in the survey, including complete routing, the sources of derived variables, an overview of each variable, including valid and invalid cases, maximum, minimum, and mean values, and in many cases, a frequency count, and how to access the data from each study. You can save information for questions and variables of interest to a list and download this list for your reference. Once you have identified the relevant variables, Closer Discovery links you through to where the relevant data files are located, for example, the UK Data Service. From here, you can download the datasets as a Stata, SPSS, or other compatible software file. Once you have decided on your research question and the study you will use, you will need to think about how you are going to analyze the data. The Learning Hub gives you a beginner-friendly overview of some of the main techniques used to analyze data from longitudinal studies. We created a series of 4 animations which provide simple explanations of analytical techniques, illustrating why different research questions require different methods, which will help you decide on the most appropriate approach. The first animation provides an introduction to analyzing longitudinal data. The other 3 animations cover regression analysis, multi-level and growth curve modeling, and survival analysis. Also, on this part of the Learning Hub, there is a link to our teaching datasets pages, where you can find practical exercises and a link to a more detailed guide to different types of regression analysis, including logistic regression and multinomial regression. You can use the glossary to help you decipher some of the more technical aspects of data analysis. Being able to communicate your research is an important skill, whether this involves writing a dissertation, publishing a paper in an academic journal, or disseminating them to policymakers or the general public. For your research to influence or change thinking or policy, it needs to be communicated effectively and disseminated beyond fellow specialists in your field. The Learning Hub has a module on research communication, which introduces different ways to communicate your research and how best to communicate your research to different audiences, both academic and non-academic. It provides tips and advice on the key things to consider when writing up your research, such as understanding your audience, building a coherent narrative or argument, and thinking innovatively. It also provides a detailed real-world example on the obesity epidemic, illustrating how effective communication of research can create impact. For more examples, don't forget you can check out the research case studies and explore how longitudinal data can be used to study some of the major issues facing today's society. To learn more about using data from longitudinal studies in your research, visit the Closer Learning Hub.